Welcome to the Bryan Foltice Behavioral Finance Podcast, where we unravel the mysteries of behavioral finance and unlock the secrets to making smarter, more informed decisions with your money. Now, here's your host, Dr. Bryan Foltice.
Welcome, everybody, to the Bryan Foltice Behavioral Finance Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about starting your own business and the three things that people won't tell you or aren't really talking about in your startup process. And this is going to be recorded by myself here on the last day of summer before I head back to classes and before the real true chaos hits again. And hopefully, after we talk about the three things that we don't usually talk about, I hope to provide some encouragement around that and to attest to a lot of this stuff as I'm going through this myself and have gone through this over the summer, to encourage you that there is a reason to go through this process. There is good news on the other end. So thank you very much for watching today. And we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the 3 bullet points here. And this is what people don't talk about when they're starting their new business, or at least I haven't heard about these things, because usually whenever you seek resources on starting your own business, it's always, yes, this is what you should do. And this is the only way to financial independence. And this is the one and only way. And yes, you'll be successful. And it's so easy. You just follow these simple steps and you go, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. In the back of your mind, though, you have to wonder, why do 90% of businesses fail over the first year or so? And after going through a process of holding a job and that's comfortable and that's secure, and then still trying to push on a new venture that's challenging and exciting, I'm going through the process myself of, wait a minute, who told me that there weren't going to be instantaneous results and that you weren't going to instantly be a influencer or some sort of viral moment teacher on the internet? And so anyway, I want to talk about those 3 things. And the first one is, when you're starting your own business, is that it's all on you. And there is not a ton of help around. So you are running all facets of this particular startup. And if you are good at accounting, you'll be good at accounting. But guess what? You also have to be marketing, and you have to be sales, and then you have to create the content or create the product, and then work on operations of distributing the product, whatever that is, even if it's online or if it's a physical product. And that's usually all on you. And just when you can farm some of it out, and that's where you think, I'm going to just take the stuff that I don't like, I'm going to farm it out. Then you have to come to that realization of, where do I get that money for it? And how do I fund the help that I am seeking? And typically in a true startup, you're going to struggle with that. And even if you do try to find some assistance in some of these areas, you're going to realize there's a conflict of, I have my vision and purpose of what we're trying to accomplish here, but then that also has to now instantly align with any help that you get. And there's another challenge involved with that as well. And so what you end up realizing here very quickly are your strengths and weaknesses, what you enjoy doing and what you don't necessarily enjoy doing or are not very good at doing. And I very quickly realized that the content and all of that I have that, but now to be able to tell that story in a compelling way, to learn all the different technologies and try to figure out all these different things was a lot for me. But then I'm also fighting this whole experience of my entire life that says, be humble, don't brag about yourself, don't market yourself. And now as an adult, that becomes a big challenge, because I go, man, I've got this product that isn't available now or hasn't been available. and I want to tell the world about it, but I want to be humble about it. Midwest guy from the US, I don't want to talk about it and let somebody else do it for me. And so you realize though that it's not going to market itself, that you have to get out and do it. So all of these things are these challenges that we have starting out, and it's all on you. Good. Take it or leave it. And then, so there's number one, and we'll talk on the back end about how we deal with this, and we'll get there, but I want to tackle number two now. And number two is something that isn't very much talked about, but I heard, who was it, Alex Hormizzi? I almost brought us one of those nasal strips. I think he wears them on his shows sometimes, but he was talking about the isolation or the loneliness that comes with starting your own business. So you have this great idea and you have a group of influencers or group of people who you are aspiring to be and aspiring to hang out with or whatever, collaborate, and they don't know who you are and they don't care. And so you're constantly trying to aspire to be them, but have no engagement with anybody that is at the level that you want to go to. At the same time, you have your current friends who can be supportive, but sometimes you can get the general idea that when you're explaining to them the new idea or the new product that you have and all of the work that you're putting into, you're going to get the reaction that, okay, so where are the results and what the hell are you doing? Because you have this good job. Why are you taking a risk? And I don't quite understand what you're really trying to accomplish here. And you realize that you're not getting that full unconditional support from all of your friends that you thought you might have. At the same time, you're going to be working a lot of hours trying to push this product along. And so there's also a limited amount of time to spend with your friends. All of this together puts you on this island that you might feel some loneliness around. And it's a bit discouraging, and especially if you're not seeing these results. And that's the number two thing I feel like it's not often talked about, often overlooked, and it was brought up, and I could really resonate with that as I've spent a lot of my summer talking to my computer. And when I am not talking to my computer this summer, I'm thinking about how I'm going to talk to my computer the next time. And once again, you think to yourself, this is insane. This is craziness. And that's why I'm also looking forward to speaking to human beings tomorrow when I start my 3 classes. So that was number 2. Number 3, realizing that your results are not going to be instant. And this will get you to this make or break moment where you are going to question what you are doing. And I feel like when you combine all 3 of these things, this is like that third part that really makes people question what they're doing and then ultimately fold up their operations and move on. And this is unfortunately what I experience as well. You get really frustrated or you get impatient, which I'm the poster child for impatience, where you are posting something and you feel like it's a really interesting idea that you're talking about, and you post it and it gets 14 views or something like that, and there's no engagement, and you go, okay, really, what the hell am I doing? I could be doing all these other things with my life, and yet this is what I'm doing. And so should I just shut it down? I'm really discouraged. And this is that make or break moment where most people say, yeah, it just didn't work out. It wasn't the right time, or it wasn't for me. And I just stopped what I was doing. And this is the point where I think it's the opportunity. This is the moment where many people retreat back and they go back to what is comfortable and to what they know. Are you ready for some good news now? We talked about the three things that stand in our way. The good news is this is all just a test. And if these three impediments didn't exist, that if you had all the support and you had all the instant success, we would all be running multiple businesses. And the real rub is that we can't make it through. And that's why there's only a select percentage of people who can make it past this point. So once we've identified these three things, now the good news is we can make it past this. And what it will show you, though, if you take it in the right form, is that first bullet point is going to show you all of your areas of improvement. So it's quickly going to show you your deficiencies, areas that you are both good and need to improve in. And this, if we take it with the right approach, can help us, A, grow and improve on those deficiencies, while at the same time understand where in the next phase of the business we're actually going to need some assistance and help. And we often ignore the fact of our own growth. It's only when we look back to where we see, look how far I've come. Wow. But in the moment, we never see that because we usually just see the challenge in front of us or our deficiency. So I've thought about myself this summer going through all of these things and going through the isolation. And I was reminded of a couple of things. The first thing was I spent my entire summer 7 years ago in the Butler Library basement recording 103 videos on corporate finance. And this summer, 7 years later, I'm still using those videos for 41 students this summer. Now, as a tenured professor, you get paid summertime pay extra in addition to your normal salary. And a lot of that pay is linked towards per person or per student. So when I run that course, I actually, just to keep myself motivated, I saw how much time I spent engaging with that course over the 5 weeks compared to how much money I made over those 5 weeks. And it came out to over $1,000 an hour that I would make per hour of engagement. And so as I'm talking to my computer, making a program that had 0 sales, when you're making it, there's 0 sales, you have to remind yourself on the other end, this thing can take care of itself for a long period of time. And so there's that encouragement. And then there's also the growth as well that you experience. That steep learning curve that you have, it does flatten out and you start to see, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much my capacity has increased. So last year I came back from sabbatical and my gift, I call it, was being asked to be the department chair of about 22 colleagues and faculty members. And so I remember coming to campus last year going, okay, I guess I'm in charge of this now. So then an emergency would come up and I'd look around and go, all right, who do I contact? Who's in charge to take care of this? And I realized, shit, it was me, that I was the one who needed to take care of this. And so it was just one thing after another where you didn't know what you didn't know. And you're constantly on your back foot, just kind of just reeling and taking the punches. And then eventually, though, it smooths out. And so now walking back onto campus, I know there'll be some new emergencies, but now I can anticipate what's needed, what's going to happen, can be more ahead of it. I'm on my front foot now, and I see all the growth and development, which is good because I need to have extra capacity for other business-related and business growth ideas and avenues. So again, take a step back, see it as an opportunity for growth and see it with a longer view. So we often, in behavioral finance, we know that we really overestimate what we can accomplish in 1 year. and we really underestimate what we can accomplish in 3 to 5 years. Most businesses, just to make a profit, are 3 to 5 years. So don't get discouraged after 1 year if it's not working out. And I think that's a very tempting thing to see. This is not working in 1 year. I'm going to fold it up and we'll call it. This is the make or break moment to push it into that year, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let it play out. See what happens from there. And then number 2, see this isolation socially as a real opportunity to focus on your product and to serve others. So obviously, if we're trying to help other people with our product, that's a formula for success. But really try to think about how I have capacity to serve others and to help other people. And what I've noticed is with that mindset and that intention, that not only can you serve people better, but then also some of these relationships start organically happening with people that you want to surround yourself with. And so that's number 2. And then number 3, talking about the lack of instant growth or anything like that. Really let it strengthen your conviction of what you're trying to do and your resolve about the business that you are trying to build. And forget about the analytics and the results. Just focus on doing the right things and letting this play out and giving it proper time. And so this is just different from what we're normally talking about, but I felt like I wanted to share this, and it fell into place into 3 main things that I wanted to talk about. And I know that I want my former students to be pursuing something bigger and not just falling into the corporate 9-to-5 job. And I want us to start our own businesses, but I also want us to know what's ahead and to be encouraged that we're all going to go through these things. And we just want to keep fighting for what we believe in, fighting for our business, but then also remembering that we can fight, but I want to fight with an eye for improvement. So I want to continue to push on these, but at the same time, I don't want to continue to do the same things. And so we'll continue to try to improve processes and communication, all these different things. And trust me, I've got plenty that I've identified with my own online content. And so you have this constant concurrent, you still have to go for it. You still have to try, but then you also want to know, I want to still constantly improve over time. And that, my friends, is entrepreneurship. And this is coming from somebody who has started his own business before, has a 9-to-5 job that's it keeps me busy and occupied, but still wants to do more. And I'll leave it at that. So if you have questions, did I miss anything? Please let me know. Also, there is good news on this last day of summer that all 4 mini courses for behavioral finance are published and available for your viewing pleasure. And you can find that on my Stand store, or just go to bryanfoltice.com and you can see all of the different options. There are 4 mini courses, which actually comprise my entire behavioral finance course for the undergraduate level. You can choose each one individually or take all 4 of them, but they are available. And so all of this work put in talking to my computer this summer, I hope that it benefits you and provides an option for those people who are looking to learn a deeper dive about behavioral finance, that they now have an option available and accessible to them. So love to hear from you. Let me know how else I can serve you. Otherwise, I will see you on the next podcast. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Bryan Foltice Behavioral Finance Podcast. We hope you found our exploration into the fascinating world of human behavior and finance both enlightening and thought-provoking. Be sure to subscribe for future episodes. And until next time, stay curious and financially savvy.